Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Player Zone YouTube channel and reaction videos deluxe in the last few hours. Last night, Rodri being announced the Ballon d'Or winner for 2024 and mixed reactions. And you'll see by the title, a little bit of a clickbait title, Vini being robbed. I firmly believe Vini should have won the Ballon d'Or. Do I think he was robbed? Not necessarily, no. But there's a lot of people out there in the world of football who think that is true, that Vinicius Jr. was robbed. I was sitting here, we've had a lot of conversation about it here on the couch and podcast, and I've stood by my opinion that Vini, throughout the whole year, I thought he should have won it. But it sort of brings me to the whole point of the Ballon d'Or and maybe it's lowering in significance. The fact that it's sort of voted on by, I guess, journalists. Is it fair that journalists are voting on the award? If players are voting, if it's part player, part journalist, does Vinicius go on to win the award? Because it's come out and obviously the whole scene that Real Madrid made by no one showing up, showing, I guess, their belief that how wrong the award is. Obviously, Ronaldo coming out last year and downplaying the award. I think even Toni Kroos saying that this award means nothing, to what it means to players anymore. And it's funny because I look at the award, I look to last year as well. We had a very similar situation. Again, I was in the Haaland corner again. And again, I guess the player that I thought should have won it didn't go and win it. And it goes to show that it does become just an international award. Messi, that 20 in the last season, yes, it was a fantastic World Cup run, but Haaland for the whole calendar year did it. He did it to a fantastic level. Messi ends up winning it at Inter Miami. That sort of shows the level we're talking about. PSG were not successful in the Champions League. Haaland went and won the Champions League for Man City and made that difference. They've been trying to get this Champions League title for 2 to 3 years. Who comes in and makes the difference? Erling Haaland. So I look at that and I think, that's got to be a bang-on Ballon d'Or, but no, it's not given. You look at this season here, Rodri wins the Euros with Spain, who, yes, he had an important role, but we can't forget the performance of Dani Carvajal, Dani Olmo, Fabian Ruiz, Alvaro Morata's unselfish performance, Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal. That squad, yes, it wasn't favoured coming into the tournament, but they were ridiculous. They were outstanding in that tournament. And people will say, Brazil's squad is stacked as well. But I can't remember, I kept saying this on the podcast, I can't remember the last time that I've seen Brazil play and actually been, confident they're going to win a game of football. Their team is really unbalanced. It lacks a lot of character, lacks a lot of structure as well. The manager's really poor. So going into the last Copa America, I was hopeful that Vini could win it for Brazil, but I didn't have much faith in the side. It's a really poor side. And whenever I watched them play, I thought, it's a really difficult watch here with this team. And Brazil ends up getting knocked out when he's actually not available in the quarterfinals because of yellow cards. So it sort of ends up being that if you win an international tournament, you just win the Ballon d'Or in the end. I don't really, it doesn't sit right with me in that regard because I'm a firm believer the Champions League for me, just in my point of view, I guess compared to Euros and Copas at least, I think is more important. World Cup I can understand, but I guess personally, I view the Champions League and the run you put together in the Champions League over sort of 5 to 6 months as heavily weighted. In my view book, winning the Champions League is a very big deal. And that's why I have an Erling Haaland Champions League over a Messi World Cup. And how I see in this situation here that for what Vinicius did last season and the run he made in that Champions League for Real Madrid, scoring the winner in the final, that I keep referring back to that world-class performance across 2 legs against Bayern in the semi-finals. His league form that just lifted and lifted as the year went on. How Real Madrid won it, basically everything available to them. It's got to hold some sort of importance. And I just think, yes, Rodri was fantastic. I'm not taking anything away from Rodri. He does deserve it if Vinicius doesn't win it. But in that same view book, why is Dani Carvajal not, in the second place or does not win the Ballon d'Or? Fantastic for Real Madrid. Monumental moments throughout the season. A lot of those comebacks in League and Champions League football. He won the Champions League. He won the League. He won a domestic trophy. He also went and won the Euros with Spain. I thought he was fantastic for Spain as well. And I know this is really exaggerated because Rodri's got double-digit goals and assists last season from CDM and he is world-class. But I just think when you talk about impactful moments, and that's how I sort of see what the Ballon d'Or is about, those impactful moments, winning games of football, I just think of Vinicius Jr. I think of some of the stats and some of the moments he put together. I think they were just fantastic last season. the list ended up being Rodri winning it, Vinicius second, Jude Bellingham third, Danny Carvajal fourth. I think he at least probably in the end should have been three when I look back at it. Erling Haaland fifth, Mbappe sixth, Lautaro Martinez, who was fabulous for Argentina in the Copa, won it for them. So does he need to be higher than a Kylian Mbappe or an Erling Haaland? The question has to be asked. Lamine Yamal 8, Toni Kroos 9, Harry Kane number 10. A few other things to touch on, I guess. I've got a few Instagram posts. Obviously, the stats for Vini, 39 appearances, 24 goals, 11 assists, Champions League winner, league winner, Super Cup winner as well. He says, I'll do it 10 times if I have to. They're not ready, so the revenge arc is there. And this might just be the fact that Spurs on Real Madrid this season, a really poor start. I think I have to get on that in the podcast that will come out on Wednesday or Thursday about Kylian Mbappe. I just think he takes away what Real Madrid are good at. He's ruined their structure up top. So can they work that out on the back of a really tough week for Real Madrid? 4-0 loss to Barcelona. Vini doesn't win the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, in the end, Carlo Ancelotti wins Manager of the Year. Real Madrid win Club of the Year. That's to say something about it. The Club of the Year is won by Real Madrid, yet they still don't have their star player winning the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, Lamine Yamal wins Young Player of the Year. The best talent 2024, and Emi Martinez wins Goalkeeper of the Year. That's, I guess, all the key talking points from the night. But I guess, coming on to the Ballon d'Or, I guess we'll talk about Rodri. Fabulous season. And again, I'm not here trying to say Rodri didn't deserve it. I just think in my heart, Vinicius Jr. deserved it more. I mean, that's just my point of view. I always had Vini there, and I remain confident he should have won it. But that's the way the world has worked. But looking at Rodri in a positive note, fantastic season. Awful he's gone down with an ACL injury because... I guess for Premier League fans, it makes it interesting, but for Man City, it's going to be a real tough season for them now. And I guess you see the impact he makes because last season, I think there was those 3 games into the middle to start of the season where he wasn't available. They did not win a single game there. When he went off for Spain, you felt the difference of him not being there. Probably not so structurally, but just the belief, the mental spirit of the side. It sort of took a hit when he came off. So he does have a real... aura about him when he sits in that midfield, the way he controls the pace of the game. And then the goals and assists, I'm pretty sure it's 11 goals, 12 assists from holding midfield. Just fabulous. And someone has come out and put the stats up comparing him to Luka Modric's Ballon d'Or from a few years ago, and he's got more assists, got more goals than him from CDM. So the talent is absolutely there and deserved of the trophy. I'm not going to sit here and be oblivious to the fact that Rodri doesn't deserve it because he wins the Euros, wins the Premier League with Man City, record-breaking 4th time in a row. There's real validity to that point there. But just when you think about all the seasons that Man City could have won, a player could have won a Ballon d'Or, it's probably one of their weakest. They bounced out of the Champions League by Real Madrid, losing to Manchester United in the FA Cup final, not winning a Carabao Cup, getting beaten by Arsenal in the Community Shield, if you have any weighting to that. Like, out of all the years, it's probably the weakest year. And me and Antonio sat here on the couch, I think 2 weeks ago on the podcast and said, this has got to be one of the weakest Ballon d'Or winners in sort of 20 years. And when I look through the names on the list, it absolutely is. Like, I hold Karim Benzema as a more talented player and a fantastic season. Lewandowski should have won it over Messi or in that COVID year, and he was a more talented, more elite level season. So it wasn't a real elite caliber level class to choose from. We had that expectation of Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe didn't really win enough, wasn't good enough. That's why I thought Vini was, for me, the most talented, the most skilled, the best performer, the most big moments player. And I guess that's what it shows, though, because him and Rodri, there wasn't too much to separate the two. And if that's your level, it's not really up to the years we had in the past where, the likes of the Ribéry's in the past there as well, Iniesta, Xavi, Luka Modric only winning 1, but could have a few more in his time. There's a lot of high-level players that never actually got a Ballon d'Or behind Messi and Ronaldo. So it's going to get a bit of time to get used to this whole new era because we're going to have a bit of a drop-off, understandably. We've gone from those great players from Spain, from Real Madrid and Barcelona, Messi and Ronaldo leading those two sides across the last 15 years to a whole new era now where these players aren't quite that level, and the second group, the likes of Iniestas and the Busquets and the Xavis and the Modric and the Krooses, that class isn't at that level yet. So it's going to feel a bit empty and shallow, I guess, in the next few years. But I guess the question is, where does the Ballon d'Or actually hold its importance anymore? If players are coming out against it, Camavinga, Ancelotti coming out against it, yes, it seems a little bit petty, but with Ronaldo last season and the way I think Haaland should have won it last year and how Lewandowski should have won it the year after COVID or in COVID. Where is the real validity behind this award going now? Because it's a real obvious fact the last 2 seasons, especially, that I guess the majority, just maybe last year, this year definitely, the majority of fans believe someone else should have won the award. So where do we stand now? Like where does the validity of this award go if a whole team or representative of a club isn't turning up for the award? What does that say about it as well? So yes, it can appear as petty, but I was sort of pro it, and the fact that they made the stand around Madrid, they thought their player was the player that deserved the award. We're not going to show up. We're not going to receive our trophies because we feel hard done by our player. Vinicius hasn't got the award, and it's a sad moment for Vini as well. Obviously, he's come out and said he'll be 10 times better, but talking about he wanted to make all the Brazilians clap at once for him and for one person and the whole country to unite. It never quite happened with the way the awards went. So sad in that regard as well. But obviously, fair play to Rodri, fantastic season for him individually. As I said, I think out of all the City years in recent years, probably the weakest they've had in a while, but his season was fantastic, especially, I guess for Rodri, we keep saying it, but whenever he's missing, that's sort of when you show his talent, because it's a really hard role to put in. Like, you can't encapsulate what Busquets and Rodri have done, but I think the Rodri effect is so obviously seen in 2 different situations. When he's not there, City's win percentage and how easily they can get counter-attacked. And secondly, the big goals and big games, Champions League finals, end of season runs. City need points and need goals. He's always there to make an assist or score a goal. So he's obviously a top player. And I guess it's a breath of fresh air to have someone different from a midfield in a holding midfield position win the award. But just feels strange that, the years that Lewandowski I thought should have won it, Haaland should have won it, even Virgil van Dijk a few years ago, those second place players there didn't win the award over, I didn't think in many years, a deserving Messi. Yet this year, I think a deserving Vinicius Jr. Now we're starting to pick a holding midfielder. So a little bit strange. I don't know. I just think right now, my faith in the Ballon d'Or, the significance it holds for me is limited. I don't give it much of a recognition, especially across the last 3 to 4 years. Prior to that, all valid for me. I think there's players that maybe are robbed, but you can't take away from Messi or Ronaldo in some of those original years. But across the last 4 to 5 years, it's like, is Messi deserving of his last 2? These sort of questions. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you pro Rodri? Are you pro Vini? Do you think Carvajal should have potentially won the award? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, guys, please smash a like on it, subscribe to the Players Own channel, press that post notification bell for more videos and podcasts like these. I'm going to try and get more reaction videos going throughout the week, so hopefully you guys will enjoy these ones. With that being said, ladies and gents, hope you have a great day. Enjoy some of the midweek football action, and I'll see you guys on the video or podcast very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.